Hello, I'm Serena and welcome to this guide on working with Cisco Packet Tracer. To make the content in this video more accessible, click the closed caption or adjust the playback speed. We will cover elements in the top toolbar, how to add and delete devices, how to add connections, and how to use the configurations window. Hello, let's go over how to add devices to your canvas. Okay, so let's go. Well, the first thing that I want to cover, I'm sorry, we're going to add devices, but the first thing I want to cover is knowing what these are here. So this first thing here, I think it's just it just lets you move things around on your, now this, I don't think I've ever quite used this, but this is to inspect. This is to delete, and how you would basically delete. You would click that, and then it's going to say, do you want to delete this? I'm going to say cancel because that was the square that, I mean, the rectangle or square that I had here. That's how you would delete. So basically you would select that. You would select that and then click this, and then it's going to ask you, do you want to delete? This is basically for resizing. So as you can see, everything that can be resized has this little red thing here in the side. And I'm going to delete that. Um, but yeah, so this is for resizing here. This next one is to create notes. And basically this is a note, right? And that's how you create a note. If you want at any time to erase that note, you would just come here. You could select it and then do delete. It's going to ask you, do you want to delete it? So that's how you would delete it. And then this next thing here is to literally just to draw a line. Not much interesting. This is how I got my squares to show up. This is to do shapes. And this is also to draw an ellipsis, which is also a shape. And the rest of these are kind of, um, it's kind of understandable what they do. So for the most part, when you're first getting started, you need to know how to add devices. So that is down here. So if you look down here on the left, if you hover over these, this one says network devices. However, this has the routers in it. And when you scroll over, if you see down here at the bottom, it will show you the name of the devices that you're hovering over at the time. Then you have end devices. And as you can see, this is where our PC, laptop servers, um, Meraki servers, and printers, and everything is down here. So this next thing is just to automatically choose connection type. I mean, so I've never seen these used. Once you get deeper into that, you may end up going this way. But for this, for the beginner part of this, and then these are your connection types. So more often than not, you're going to be asked to, you know, if they're not specific and they tell you to come over here and just connect the devices together, I'll show you how that looks. But for now, let's go ahead. We're going to grab, oh, one more thing. Sorry, one more thing. So this is WAN emulation, and that means that basically this. So where's my information coming from? So it's coming from the cloud. These are firewalls. These are firewalls. These are all of your Meraki and things like that, your different things that you could choose. So you can scroll through these just in case if you're asked for a particular thing, you will find those devices here. So you see this one says a home router. This one says an access point. And then you have Meraki, which is a great addition here. I'm kind of excited to even see that here. That shows how long it's been since I've been here. And then you'll see these PT switch and switch PT and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some switches since I'm already over here. All right, because more likely than not, we have switches that connect to our router to help us separate our networks. Works just fine. All right, so now that we have our switches here, a lot of times these, like I said, your assignments will already be defined with these things. So the only thing I'm doing is hovering over it, and you can see it shows you what is down and what is up and what the VLAN number is and all of that. That information does not change unless you actually go over there and change it. You may be asking yourself, how do I change it? Well, first, let's add some end devices. So I'm going to go to end devices, and I'm just going to put a few PCs over here. And then I'm going to add a server and maybe even a printer. Okay. And then let's do the same thing here. Let's add two servers here and a printer and a laptop. Okay, great. So now that those things are connected, we're just going to go back to connections, and then we're going to connect our devices. Right? And then we would connect our devices on this side. Now, I will not go into configuring anything because this video is only to show you how to get started with it and how to do the connections, how to get devices connected to your router, and how to put on switches and how to do all of that. Now, if we wanted to move these around to, I don't know, make it look a little bit more civilized, we could do that, right? So we have servers here, and then we have this PC and this laptop. You also could do this and bring the printer closer to the laptop in. So don't be afraid of that. It's however you want this to go. If you need to rename anything, you would just need to click as close as you can to that object in order to change this. All right, but let's say we needed to change the name of a device. So we would click on the device, and then we would go inside of configuration, and then we would change this and say marketing PC 8. And then that would actually change that. While we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these configurations. So if we go inside of settings, these are your global settings. This is going to be for your name, what interface you're connected to, which is the fast Ethernet 0. Are you doing DHCP? Do you have a IP address that needs to go here for your assignment? And then we can also go to fast Ethernet 0. And please remember that this is IP configuration, but this is gateway DNS configuration. Basically meaning, are you automatically receiving an IP address from your router? Now, if you need to directly connect this to a VLAN and your IP address, IPv4 address is going to be different, you would want to go to fast Ethernet 0, keep it static, IPv4, and this is where your address will go. So this will look something like this. I said 198. I meant 19. Oops, didn't do any of that, right? 192.168, and then whatever the address is going to be. Okay, all right. It's yelling at me because I didn't type a full IP address, but I'm just, like I said, I'm only doing this video to show you demonstration. So when you come in configurations, you go inside of fast Ethernet 0, you give it the IP address, settings, let you name it. So we are going to call this network A printer. Okay. And then if it has a default gateway, that is where you would do that. And then, like I said, this is just your your other information. All right. Now, it's interesting to note when you go inside. When you go inside of a PC, you have this desktop section, and this is where you would find firewall information, and this would be allow and deny. This would be what protocol is allowed or denied. This is going to be the IP address for that. This is going to be whatever port, like let's say port 22 or port 53 or whatever port is supposed to be coming in. 80 and 443 are very common ports. Um, and then that is all that I have. For more academic support resources, read this video's description. Thank you for watching, and we hope to work with you soon.